I was told that I could do what our Presbyterian brother doesn't like me to do, which is leave this thing and I can walk around. Is that okay? Well, when you go to somebody else's house, you typically ask permission, right? Before you just go traipsing around the place. So thank you for the hospitality. Thank you, Pastor Masashio. Thank you, Jackie Linden Shea, Pastor Shea, for hosting us. Thank you to the people of Preston, Meadow Lutheran Church for inviting us over to crash your place for the evening. Thank you, choir, for coming out, and music. What wonderful, glorious music to sit and enjoy on this evening. We are just so blessed and so grateful that we could have this festival service today, and that we could sing together, "A Mighty Fortress is Our God," with an organ booming, and on that just fill your Lutheran heart. So it is good to be here with you today. I do have one item of business, and that is to bring some regrets. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., our new DEM, newly installed DEM, Pastora Irma Benalis, was supposed to be here with you all to preach. She will not be with you. I've cleared this with Pastor Paul. But she became ill this afternoon, and Jesus and Lupita were kind enough to take her to the hospital. I visited with her there. She has now gone home. She has a respiratory illness of some kind that the doctors are confident she will recover from, but preaching is not on the docket for the next 24 hours. So she sends her regrets, her sadness, and hopes that you will invite her back sometime soon. And thank you, Pastor Paul, for filling in on short notice. It's been a long day for those of you who have been a part of assembly, right? All right, and those of you who haven't, there's going to be a couple inside jokes here. Okay, sorry about that, but it's been a long day for us. It seems like a lifetime ago that Pastor Rich Pounds came walking in, sneaking up to Al Staggs as Lutheran and said, "Was ist das? Was ist das?" Playing the role of little 3-year-old Hans Luther coming up to his papa, asking, "Was ist das? What is this? What is that? What does this mean?" And from that we learned again came that wonderful phrase in the catechism, "What does this mean?" I brought my catechism with me again today. I got it on my phone this time. And if you are thinking, "Oh man, he brought the catechism again," you're going to probably hear about this for a while, so settle in. Because this text that we read, that Celeste read for us in the Aroma language, this 1 Peter text connects us to the explanation to the second article of the Creed in the Small Catechism. I believe that Jesus, my Lord, is my Lord. He has saved and redeemed me, a lost and condemned person. How? Not with silver and gold, not with plata y oro, but with his holy and precious sangre, his blood. You think Luther knew his Bible? Well, where did he get that phrase? He didn't give it credit in his explanation. Perhaps he could have, but back then they weren't as good on the form and style guides and all of that stuff. He got it from 1 Peter 17 through 21. You know that you were ransomed from the futile ways inherited from your ancestors, not with perishable things like silver or gold, but with the precious blood of Christ, like that of a lamb without defect or blemish. Luther quoting the scriptures back to us to help us do what we desire to do, which is teach the faith, to tell another generation about the love of God. And why does he do these things? Luther goes on to say, why does Jesus do this? Because he does this so that we may belong to him and live and serve. He does this so that we may belong to him. And as we gave thanks here at the font for the waters of baptism, we remember that we in baptism are joined to Christ. We belong to Christ. And if we belong to Christ, we belong to each other. I did my devotional with the Synod Council on this text, what seems like a lifetime ago, 36 hours or so. We talked about what it means to belong to one another, to be in relationship to one another. If we belong to Christ, we belong to one another, and that becomes the heart of who we are. And from that belonging comes our life and then our service. When we remember whose we are, we have our basis and our foundation. My one big concern about this whole brouhaha about the 500th anniversary of the Reformation, have you heard that's happening? We're doing some stuff about that. In 2017, my biggest concern about 2017 being the year that we talk about the Reformation is that it's all focused on the 95 Theses. We go back, 95 Theses, 95 Theses, 95 Theses. We bang them on the wall, right? And we like that stuff, right? Because that's our day and age. That's our time, right? The hot tweet, the trending Facebook post. Right now, I checked in here. I haven't checked in a minute. Let me see how many likes have I gotten since I checked in at PMLC. We want that instant gratification, right? Feed me now. Give me something back right now. Give me the answer, black and white. And I worry that we're going to forget that the heart of the Reformation wasn't the 95 Theses. And I've got theologians and historians to back me up on this one. The 95 Theses actually weren't that important. Most people never read them. Most people never thought about them. The 95 Theses are the event because it's our Lutheran Baptist moment. Did you get it? We came to Jesus on October 31st, 1517. Threw that one in there for George Mason. That's one of those inside jokes. Sorry if you're visiting with it, if you weren't at the assembly. We had a Baptist come and visit us and give us wonderful words about how much he appreciates our Lutheran heritage. And here we have our Baptist Lutheran moment. We came to Jesus. But the thing is, that's not where the Reformation happened. The Reformation doesn't happen through the hot tweet or the trending Facebook post. The Reformation isn't about Luther wanting to get as many likes as he could or jab back at Pope Leo on Facebook or Twitter. No, the Reformation happened over days and weeks and months and years. The Reformation happened in Katie's living room and at her table, as she provided for that household of students and teachers and preachers who are coming and going and visiting that household, and the relationships that were developed and the time that was spent and the pouring out of Luther and others into those that he was teaching. The relationships built the Reformation. One could say the Reformation happened at a table. The Reformation happened sitting together, breaking bread, sharing, learning, caring, listening to the needs of others, knowing to whom they belonged. They lived and served. And so it is to be with us. I love this Emmaus Road text. I mean, don't you just love it? It's such a great text. I mean, here's two guys who didn't stay blocked away, right? At least these guys, Cleopas and the other, they went on. They got out of the room. You know, they were heading home. They were off to do something. Now they were going in defeat, right? You've walked that journey before, haven't you? The journey of lost hopelessness. The journey after something you really believed was going to be awesome. You thought, I'm going to get this job, or this is going to work out great, and it doesn't quite work out right. And you walk that road, and you thought about all that could have been, all the shoulda, woulda, couldas. That's what they're doing there. And along the way, Jesus shows up, and he starts walking with them. He says, what you guys look so sad? What's up? And they said, well, don't you know about this Jesus of Nazareth? And we thought he would be the one to redeem Israel, but, the big old but, he's dead. Now, we've got this tale of some women that he's raised from the dead, and other people say they've seen him, but, I mean, come on. When the empire wants you gone, the empire gets you gone. He's gone. And Jesus walks along with them and talks to them, explains to them. He does all of the teaching and the catechesis. He does all the work, the vasistas. Explains it all to them. Still don't get it. until it's getting late, and they say, come on in, don't go on the road, it's dangerous. And I come in, it's late, it's almost evening, they sit down at a table. They sit at the table, and he breaks the bread. And there, the scriptures tell us, their eyes were opened. Now, obviously, we relate this to the Holy Eucharist. But I think we need to connect this also to our life together, and to the life of those we encounter daily in our communities, wherever you are, whether you're up in the Panhandle or over in Louisiana or down in the Hot Conference or wherever you find yourself located. Even here in Plano, the gospel can be proclaimed. It can happen, people, but it happens in relationship. It happens around tables, around the breaking of the bread, around living and serving in the one to whom we belong. I know Preston Meadow Lutheran Church is a very generous congregation. As your bishop, I know that. I know you are generous with your mission support. I also know you're very generous in your service to the community, in your partnership ministries. And we are grateful for your hospitality this evening. Thank you for inviting us in to share the table with you. Thank you for this opportunity to sing those great Reformation hymns and some new ones, and to hear the word proclaimed in different languages, to remind us that we are together and that Christ is revealed to us again today at the table. Thanks be to God. Amen.